The Wahhabi War was a conflict that took place in the early 19th century between the Ottoman Empire and the Wahhabi religious movement in the Arabian Peninsula. The Wahhabi movement, led by Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab, aimed to purify Islam by removing practices and beliefs that they deemed to be non-Islamic. In the late 18th century, the Wahhabi movement gained support from the ruling family of the Emirate of Diriyah in the Arabian Peninsula. The Ottomans, who controlled much of the Middle East, saw the movement as a threat to their authority and launched a series of military campaigns to suppress it. The First Wahhabi War began in 1801, when Ottoman forces under the command of Ibrahim Pasha invaded the Emirate of Diriyah. The Wahhabi forces were initially successful in repelling the Ottoman army, but were eventually defeated in 1818 by a much larger Ottoman force led by Muhammad Ali Pasha, the Ottoman governor of Egypt. The Second Wahhabi War began in 1821, when the Wahhabi movement re-emerged in the Arabian Peninsula. The Ottomans, who were again threatened by the movement, launched a series of military campaigns to suppress it. The Wahhabi forces, led by Abdullah bin Saud, were initially successful in repelling the Ottoman army, but were eventually defeated in 1824 by an Ottoman force led by Ibrahim Pasha. The Wahhabi War had significant consequences for the Middle East. The defeat of the Wahhabi movement by the Ottomans marked the end of an attempt to establish a puritanical form of Islam in the Arabian Peninsula. However, it also led to a backlash against Ottoman rule, and the movement gave rise to a new wave of Islamic fundamentalism in the region. The Wahhabi War also had geopolitical consequences. The defeat of the Wahhabi movement by the Ottomans allowed the Ottoman Empire to extend its control over the Arabian Peninsula, which gave it access to important trade routes and resources. The conflict also highlighted the growing influence of European powers in the region, who were increasingly vying for control of the Middle East. In conclusion, the Wahhabi War was a significant conflict that had far-reaching consequences for the Middle East. While the defeat of the Wahhabi movement by the Ottomans marked the end of an attempt to establish a puritanical form of Islam in the Arabian Peninsula, it also gave rise to new forms of Islamic fundamentalism and highlighted the growing influence of European powers in the region.